Right, okay. Focus. Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to a somewhat special episode of Coaching the Many. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about just general play and just, normal coaching, but we're also going to be trying to framing, in the context of hero switching. So I've been asking for videos like this, recently, where you end up swapping between different heroes and you're trying to suit the enemy team comp and you're trying to figure out your team comp and all that kind of stuff. You're getting all that kind of stuff going on. I didn't sign a release for this. Tough shit, too late. You're part of joining my chat. Congratulations, you've ended up in the chat log. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's a very difficult decision, and people say this a lot. Of like, Overwatch is a game about adapting to the enemy team. Overwatch is about adapting and changing your team comp and being very flexible and fluid and changing how things need to be changed. Being brutally honest with you, being 100% brutally honest with you, it is actually somewhat rare that you ever really need to change. Which sounds very weird to say. But let me explain. In current meta, okay, and I've done this before and I'll do it again. I'll do it at the start of this video this time so more people see it. Okay, we generally have 6 roles in Overwatch. Main tank, off tank, I'm going to call it main DPS, flex DPS, main heal, flex heal. Okay? 6 roles. And these days, these roles, somewhat are pretty locked in. Main tank is generally only a choice between one of 2 heroes, which is Ryan and Winston. Okay? And it's usually you just go straight for the Reinhardt, because very few people can actually play Winston effectively. Off tank is usually a little bit more flexible, but it's either Zarya or Road. Either one of these 2. Very rare that you need to actually swap between these 2. You'll generally, on attack, stick to Zarya. On defense, stick to Roadhog. Relatively simple. Main DPS these days. Let's bring Twitch chat down. Usually just Soldier. Honestly, these days. You can argue for McCree. Yeah. McCree. You can also kind of put Pharah into this role. Though she's not greatly suited at flex DPS, usually one of your Tracer, Genji. You could also have Pharah in here as well. She can fill this role. It's kind of flexible between these 2. Main healer, usually just your Lucio, in terms of like just being a single static healer. And then we have either Anna, Mercy. Oh, we're getting really off screen here. Or Zen. Generally with supports, you can be very flexible around it, but usually you get this. In like main healer or main support, I guess, you could also put a Symmetra instead of the Lucio. It's up to you. But you generally only have like 1 or 2 choices. D.Va, of course, yeah, how could I forget D.Va? D.Va actually fits into the here very much so now. But it's very rare that you really need to change like everything. It's usually 1 or 2 changes that come through. And I'd say in your average game, it's very rare that you're going to swap off Soldier. It's very rare that you're going to swap off Reinhardt. And then the main roles that you need to consider swapping across are these ones. And usually these as well. The reason why is pretty simple. Nothing really hard counters Soldier 76. It's very, very rare you have a situation where it is bad to play Soldier 76. You can make him work in pretty much every team lineup. It's how he's designed. He works at pretty much every distance, has constant support for his team, is generally just very strong. Zarya, Roadhog, D.Va are very different sort of reactions to very different heroes. So for example, if they're playing a pharmacy, then you can definitely run D.Va and just block the pharmacy, and you're basically nullifying 2 heroes by doing so, which is very powerful. But otherwise, like Roadhog is generally standard for defense, Zarya very standard for offense. Just because Graviton Surge is so powerful, and because Roadhog is just so powerful on defense, that might change with the next patch. Depends on how people react to the Roadhog changes, how that all comes through. I can talk about that more later, I guess. And then in terms of healing, it's really, like, especially with these 3 healers, it is really a matter of what you're more comfortable on. Of course, you can swap these around pretty heavily on defense, where on offense, I think you pretty much always want the Lucio. It's very rare you don't. But on defense, you can generally get away with swapping Lucio for something else. It's up to you. The end result is this. If you have picked Soldier 76, it is very rare the times you want to get off Soldier 76. It is very rare that you are going to be changing off these heroes reliably. And so while I understand that people talk about, like, hey, we should be swapping constantly, and swapping is really important. Understanding when to swap is really important, and not swapping fruitlessly is really important. So I'm going to watch this game, and we're going to try and contextualize swapping opportunities, what we should consider swapping to, and how we should consider doing it. And I want to highlight first and foremost, at the start of this game, as we get a look at the team lineup, I don't like the Winston here. I think Winston is perfectly fine on this map, but with this team lineup, get the sound even higher. Sound is playing. Oh, come on. Come on, YouTube. YouTube, please. Please, YouTube. I've just told it to go back once and it doesn't. But as you can see, there's a Junkrat involved, there's a Diva, there's a Soldier 76, I believe, there's a Mercy, I think there's a Lucio. If you think about how the first engagement's going to go with this team, Monkey's going to jump in, and then everyone else is going to stand back and watch him die. Maybe the Diva will come help. Maybe. YouTube. YouTube, please. Please, YouTube. There we go. So, like, when you think about how the Winston is going to actually engage here, well, Junkrat's going to stay back, Soldier's going to stay back, Lucio might come with us, so there's a tick there, Diva might come with us, so there's a tick there, Mercy going to stay back. So, out of everyone, well, Winston, Lucio, Diva isn't a strong dive. So we want to be extremely careful with how we approach this coming out of spawn. Okay, here we go. Go forward. And let's see how this goes. So if you have picked a hero that might not be necessarily fitting, there's usually a couple of good signs to see, and we're going to have, like, this is actually a really nice demonstration of, demonstrating how this team comp just doesn't work. It's a bit unfortunate that we jump into the Fire Strike, but hey, they have a Reaper, they have a Reinhardt, and the moment I want to draw attention to is this. Okay, is literally this moment here, where we're sort of forced back, and you notice that there's nothing here helping us. Absolutely nothing is happening. It's just us with a Reaper in front of us, and then we look over here, and our team is stood, like, here. Like, our nearest teammates are literally on the opposite side of the fucking map. This is an instant signal that, hey, we are working at cross purposes with our team. There is no tanking that we are providing, really, that is benefiting them right now. Sure, we're tying up the Reaper, but the Reaper wouldn't be doing anything anyway at this distance. Reinhardt would just be walking forward. Like, the only thing we're doing here is providing a little bit of meat. A little bit of meat for the enemy team, and then, hey, there's also a Widowmaker. So we have to swap to the Zarya instead, and we can actually see the enemy team lineup. I'm so-so on the Zarya. I think it's not necessarily bad, it's not necessarily great either as a decision. I would have maybe opted for the Reinhardt, just because basically Reinhardt eliminates the threat of this. It dampens the threat of this, while they have a lot of burst potential in terms of just like blowing through your barrier with this and this. So do we with this, all very strong DPS output. So we can get through their barrier relatively quickly. Well, they can get through ours also relatively quickly, but the idea is that we'll be advancing through the choke, we'll be pushing as the aggressors, we have the Junkrat as well, we can maybe get something done. The Widowmaker, very non-threatening to a barrier. Soldier 76 is threatening, that's why, you know, we can circle him as well maybe, or we could put an arrow on him, there you go, just for parity. But we could definitely probably do quite a lot with this. The question is, you know, are you comfortable in the Reinhardt? And Gohan literally just said in chat, I don't trust my Rein. So opting for the Zarya instead, okay, that's fair enough, I would say. If you can't play Reinhardt to a level that you think, okay, I can make this work, then Zarya is it's a doable pick here. My only issue with Zarya is you're going to be running into a team lineup that is begging you to run into them. They also have Transcendence available, which is a slight issue. But, oh, hey, Freeze and Yada. He's badly out of position, good kill. But you'll constantly run into this problem where, you know, Zarya is good at medium range and close range, and so we are kind of lucky that Soldier 76 is this far forward, because when we turn, you can sort of see the problem here, where their threats are like here, and honestly the Soldier would be perfectly fine just standing back here, and Reinhardt could just be here and contest the point, and we wouldn't be able to do shit about it. So this is sort of the weakness that the Zarya has. So we want to be looking and pushing forward. Oh, hey, the fucking Roto behind us, and then we get surrounded, isolated, and killed. We pushed out a little bit aggressively here without sort of fully seeing the threats, but I'm aware that also not everyone's talking. I mean, this is a good kill, and honestly, this is a good signal to push, but I think what we should have noticed is this death over here. You can see there's a corpse over there. Well, that's a sign that's, you know, this is happening over here. Want to be a little bit careful about where everything is. But it is kind of silly that everyone's splitting off, but hey, this is gold. Sort of expected. This is a placement game, so no official ranks given yet, but hey. I trust in the fact that it's about gold. Oh, free charge. Feels good, man. This is where Zarya can be extremely strong, of course, if the Roadhog just shoots into barriers. No problem for us. And the Zenyatta... Guys, FYI, Zenyatta, not a main tank. Surprise, surprise. I know he has shields, and I know he has shielding, but really not a main tank. He doesn't do well in that role. He's a little bit squishy, a little bit fragile. And at close range, sure, Zenyatta can kill people, but he can also kill people from long range too.
Oh, fuck.
That was actually quite beautiful. Boop!
Oh, fuck.
Then Reaper goes into. Ah, bless him. Reaper. What a sheep. What a sheep he is. There's not too much we could do in that situation. It's sad, but hey. Our team seems to win regardless. Honestly, that Reinhardt should have just been holding closer anyway. Oh, hey. It's a free Transcendence as well from the Zenyatta. Feels good, man. Perfectly fine with us aggressing onto that. Ooh. Keep it cool. You can still win this. You can absolutely win this at this range. So if Reaper's going to stand in position like this, you can win this fight. 200 hit points, he's on 100. You can absolutely win this fight. Even post-patch, I think you'd be able to win that fight. With your barrier coming up in 2 seconds, he doesn't kill you before then unless he closes in. You just back up, and then you can move to the health pack where you moved anyway. I'd say we want to be very careful about being here. We either want to be playing closer to the area, like... Let me put it this way. What defensive advantage do we have standing in the middle here that we didn't have when we were standing back here? When we're standing here, we can just hug into this wall and just take a couple of steps back, therefore denying the Widow any chance of doing anything. Soldier 76 has to then move around, come onto the point. Then we can challenge him at a range that favors us a lot more, and we can actually just contest the point that way. He's not going to cap the point fully on his own, so we can actually just bide our time a little bit, let him come in closer to where we're stronger, and then we can work like that. Fighting like this, fighting like this, not in our favor at all. We're kind of lucky that the Widowmaker can't land a single body shot. Oh, they use sights. Good job by the Diva. Feels bad, man. Just positioned a little bit too far out. When you see Lucio's over here, we should no fear. No reason why we just don't hug the wall. Hey, always keep your eye out for Lucio's. Always keep your eye out for Lucio's. Always, 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 always. I think that's the second death we've had so far where we've just been knocked off. It looks like they've used Death Blossom, but still actually not doing too badly. Like, we're caught up on percentage. Wouldn't be... Okay. I know this guy just shouted group, but honestly, I don't think you'd be out of line. Just stepping out this way. Literally just stepping out and putting a barrier on whoever stood over here. Just to buy another 3 or so percent. It'll also give you some ultimate charge, because they're still trying to deal with this guy, and you would have made it if you just ignored the Mercy. Now we back away, though. Point's gone. We're in a little bit of danger. Just get some charge if you can. Try and build up where we can, and then work off the back of that. Like how Diva tried to shoot us. I like how the McCree's going off totally... Oh no, that's the Junkrat going off totally on his own. Diva holding up defense matrix while barrier's on her. Hurts. Good job hugging the wall. Be very careful about putting yourself between a Reinhardt and a cliff. He gets desperate, and this... Ooh, ooh, yes, okay. So this push was always going to be difficult. Honestly, I think you would have been fine just staying on the Lucio rather than going after this Reinhardt. So if instead of going over here... So we can see the Lucio here. So what we can do is just barrier turn around and fight the Lucio, and I don't know why we're not doing that, instead opting to fight a Reinhardt when we're on tiny amounts of charge. His armor's going to stop all this damage we're putting out, and then Lucio sort of has free reign, where we could be helping the D.Va kill the Lucio, and then we can go at the Reinhardt afterwards. It's always going to be tricky when you're one down at the start. Mercy solo reses us, I hate that. Maybe she did it just to survive, I guess. Should absolutely be helping the fight inside here. Don't know what we're fighting out or hunting out there, but this fight in here, the fight behind us, that fight going on right behind us, that's a pretty good fight for us. That's actually a pretty nice fight. We kind of want to fight that. So I need to fix this webcam spottiness because that's driving me crazy. I'm sure it's driving you crazy. But yeah, like a fight in a small room with a Reinhardt swinging his hammer all over the place and you're playing Zarya. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. You want that fight. You want to be just in there, right-clicking, left-clicking on stuff, drilling stuff down. They don't have space to maneuver. It's easier to track targets there. Oh yeah. You want that. You really want that. That's a feel-good time in there. Going out here, that's bad news bears for us, because now everything's spread out, everything's out in the open, everything's so far away. So we're sort of sacrificing a fight where it's like 3 versus 2 in a small room where, sure, the Reinhardt's doing a shitload of damage, but we can do it too. And, yeah, we can just leverage our advantage in there. It'd be okay. We're on triple tank at the moment, honestly. Triple tank, I wouldn't say it's too bad at the moment. It's just... your team is, well, it's suffering from golditis, where everyone's kind of soloing. Soldier is a cool guy. Soldier is a cool guy, and he is standing on the high ground. But the thing with Soldier on the high ground over there is that he can't contest the point. He has to come onto the point. So if you just clear the point, he has to move over to you. Or he just stands there and gets killed. It was very telling for me. Like, people commented on this when we were playing our placements on stream. That I, like clockwork, managed to, like, read what the fucking enemy soldier was doing on Volskara Industries. It was literally just, like, clockwork of, like, you know, someone just shouted, "Oh, soldier high ground, soldier high ground." I was like, no, kill the D.Va on the ground. Kill the D.Va on the ground, the soldier's going to jump down. And literally, as I was saying, it, D.Va dies, soldier jumps down to us, we kill soldier. It's just a very simple realization of what are his thought processes going into that. And it's like, okay, well, he's in a cool place, but we're going to just win this fight over here. We win this small fight in this room, then we pull out and go into the mid-range where Soldier's suddenly on his own, and then we can fight that properly. So that initial Winston dive, was that a bad dive or was that a team fault for not backing him up? It was a mixture of both. It was a bad dive because there was never ever going to be any follow-up. So, like, you jump in, you just... no one on that team lineup is going to follow you. It's also just a bad hero choice in terms of, like, we have this lineup that wants to spam from distance and do a lot of damage, so having a hero that wants to jump in and engage super hard and not poke, just, like, get kills very quickly, isn't what you needed. And instead we're opting up for the Tracer because someone called for 2 tanks, and honestly, I kind of like the Tracer, like, in this team lineup. I think there are a lot of threats in their team lineup from what we saw before with, like, the Reaper, for example, and the Roadhog. There's a lot of things that could cause you issue, but honestly, there's nothing there that really screams massive threat, which is honestly something like a McCree. And even nicer for us, it looks like they've opted away from Soldier 76, which means that we sort of have free time. I want to point out the Genji, complete goddamn idiot. Well, these two guys, especially the Lucio, like, Lucio, what are you doing? Lucios need to not do this anymore. He's literally run forward in front of the Reinhardt barrier, gone and right-clicked the Reinhardt barrier. Congratulations, sir, you've done 30 barrier damage or something. It's nothing. He almost dies for the result. Genji gets blasted into the ceiling. Feels good, man. We can honestly dance around. We should honestly, yeah, be skirting around on this outside area. Don't quite anticipate the tracking needed on the double stun, but hey, and then we can get onto the Lucio clean up. This is also just a very good map for Tracer. Okay, the fact that this Lucio gets away is tilting. Just blink on him. Blink on him. Blink on him. You've let him run away. Feels bad, man. You would have been absolutely fine recalling the moment you trigger this Widow Mine, because you know that the Widow Mine is going to deal 75 damage to you. If you recall it, the moment you get it, you've nullified that 75 damage. You've already taken 50 from the dash, so recall. And the position that you would end up in on the recall So we're here, he dashes, we blink away, get hit by the mine. If we recall now, we'll be back with our backs towards a door, and then behind us will be a large health pack. So we could blink in there if we needed to, if we're worried about the Genji. We had tons of options. By doing this, now we are committed to just running to a healer or running to a health pack. We try running to a health pack isn't there, and you notice we're on such low hit points, so we're literally out of the fight. All this time is just wasted. We do find the isolated Soldier 76 out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Why is he here? Who knows? He's gone sightseeing, he kills the Mercy, because Mercy thought it was safe over here, because why wouldn't she? Because they should be fighting on the point. He's just there. We could just keep him annoyed, I guess. Now we want to be careful. Let's stick with this Lucio. Use the cover. Maybe we can get a pulse bomb on him. A little bit too early. Little bit too early. So I think if you went for like another step or two forward, instead of trying to go for like a lob, which is what you go for, just try and go for like a more short range, low angle, but more in your face stick, especially with this many blinks available, we should be able to do that. Worst case, you blink behind him and then just try and use the reposition so that he like angles around trying to find you, and he's probably going to stay relatively still while he tries to find you. Get the kill regardless. Tracer sticks are very difficult anyway, but hey. Widow then gets a shot. We get a res. Human res. Let's get the fuck away from this Reinhardt. So priority number one, I'd say, here is just to literally hold the blink button, because like you have this split second here. And like let's go through what should be going through your head during this split second. So we're dead. We see, oh, Widowmaker killed us. That sucks a little bit. Oh, hey, we're being resurrected. Okay, and during this screen, this is stood literally right on frickin' top of me. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to hit you. He's going to hit you hard. There's also a Junkrat trap here. Hey, that's sort of useful. A Reaper here. We don't want to really engage in close range. Point has already been swapped, so there's no point contesting it for an over long period of time. This is courting death, because we instantly get a free hit from the Reinhardt, and then if he landed a proper shot on us, there's a good chance we could have died. Genji almost goes, disarms the trap. Reinhardt gets the kill on the Reaper. I think the trap is still alive, actually. Ooh, I wonder if that'll come into it. I don't know. But in general, after resurrecting, your first priority should be moving. Because you have that stationary period, everyone knows where you are, everyone knows what you're doing, and teams will prepare to try and shoot you if you don't react and move quickly. Looks like the Lucio stood in it. And sound barriered for no... Congratulations, you played yourself, sir. Honestly, you should be finishing this Lucio. Notice how no one's finished him? Clean the point. Clean the fucking point. Especially if you're playing on the DPS roles. Like, I know Tracer is well served by going aggressive, but Lucios are ridiculously slippy. So, all the help you can get in just killing or finishing a Lucio doesn't hurt. I'd say if it was something like a Soldier 76 or the Reaper or something like that, sure, you could probably leave it. When it's a Lucio, Tracer, Genji, anything slippy and evasive, then you want to be more active in trying to get those guys killed. Sights, we spotted it out, good job, stay within cover. It was good, man. And honestly, with that team lineup, we are fine sticking with the Tracer. I'd say if you want options for heroes you could pick, Genji would actually be pretty good. Just because if you reflect into the Reaper, he's basically boned. It also gives you a lot more pressure on the Widowmaker. Tracer isn't that good at pressuring Widowmakers, just because Widow can get onto high ground very easily, so she's difficult to remove. Therefore, if you're on the Genji, you can challenge that a lot more. You could also have a long range option of getting a deflect kill, for example, which is always an option. Otherwise, I'm fine with our holding position at the moment. You're still getting a lot of damage there. Recall, feels good, man. I'll be fine with us just slapping a bomb on one of these people. Again, a little bit rushed. Throwing the bomb too high there, I think, again. Well, we're just sort of hoping that he walks into it rather than just throwing low and directly at them. Oh, the boop set you up for the kill. Bad man.
Yeah.
Not my Genji, I've got less than 1 hour. Makes sense. It's just a general recommendation. That's a real nice res from the Mercy. Good pick up by the Diva. They're still off the point. Nice job. Just stay on the health pack. Stay on the health pack. Oh! I don't think you actually picked up that health pack. Like, you hadn't taken damage on the way in, and then you sort of completely, like, you do a good move, and then you blink right back out of it. We should be looking, maybe at getting a bit of stalling done here.
Don't use ult, don't use ult.
Good. Right, cool. Let it go, yeah. 99% to 45%. No issues. They're still not really doing anything about you. The D.Va's a little bit annoying. Now Soldier 76 is here, so those are slight problems for us, but honestly, we can still make them very uncomfortable. And one good pulse bomb could probably win us the game. So, find the angle. Let's go around. You should probably be looking to try and get some pressure on that Widow. He's missed his rockets. We can engage on this. Don't know why we're so timid. Soldier's isolated on this side. You can see your team is pushing up here. We can push in on this. We're on full health. We have 3 blinks. We have recall. And what's nice about this position is, sure, this health pack is gone. But the odds are the health pack over here, you know, up and over, isn't gone. No one's fighting over there. No one's contesting that health pack. So we can very easily just fight up here, and then if it starts getting hairy, bounce down here, pick up this health pack, and then come back up, fight again, and then recall. Like, we have all these options to deal with the Soldier 76, and sure, he's going to be standing on his heal field, but oh, we don't give a shit. We can just keep whittling him down and keep working on him, rather than this disengage. And now we've died with 3 blinks and a recall in pocket. Feels bad, man. A little bit of a struggle. I'd say if we're considering options, Roadhog actually wouldn't be too bad at this instance. Just because a lot of their team is very spread apart, and it sounds weird because they have like the D.Va and the Reaper, and you might be thinking, whoa, Roadhog against Reaper, what the fuck are you smoking? But consider how often we've run into the Soldier 76 alone, or situations like this where we've run into the D.Va alone. If you look at their positioning, it isn't great. It's very exploitable. So on paper, I'd say that Roadhog is not a great pick here, but in practice against this team lineup, or against this team that you're facing specifically, very possible. Oh, oh, Cloud9, the Clown9 feels bad, man. Zuby with some good advice. If you're not great with the bombs yet, it's always worth sticking a tank during a fight. Yes, it is. Like, you don't one-shot a tank, but you either A, can follow up on it yourself, and we'll probably be able to kill them. Just whittle them down on the way in. Get them reduced by 100, 150 hit points, just to account for healing. And then we can do something. Maybe we need something more useful as DPS, not a tracer. It baffles me seeing someone type this when there's a Junkrat sat on the team. It's not about you, it's about Tracer. Tracer is legitimately probably considered the most overpowered hero in the game. Pro community. Maybe Roadhog's considered more overpowered, but I think Tracer's definitely up there. Definitely top 5 lists. Genji's also very much up there. So yeah. Yeah. Also in the chat. Ooh, hey, free kill. Good job on that. By the way, I'm perfectly fine with the swapped Soldier 76. Like I said, Soldier 76 is a DPS that honestly every team... Like, if you aren't running a Soldier 76, it pains me to say this, but I think with current game balance, if you are not running dive, if you are running a very static comp and you just want to shoot at people, Soldier 76 is probably a go-to hero. Why? Because he's just very good at standing his ground, he's very good at shooting his stuff, he's got great ultimate synergy with other heroes, especially Ana. He's got great ability to just get reliable kills and kill people efficiently. He's very, 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 very good at the moment. Even with the 1 damage nerf, that hasn't changed. I can see McCree maybe creeping up even more against dive comps with the buffs he's getting to Deadeye, because that makes Deadeye a lot more effective against Tracers and effective against Genjis too as well, really. So you have a couple more options. One thing I didn't like here, just as I mentioned, is like why your team didn't just push on the... Like, this is a really nice kill on the Lucio. DMAC the D.Va. This is the moment.
High ground, left.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Don't give a shit about this guy. Why are 4 people peeling off to chase a Soldier 76 when there's literally just a Reinhardt stood on the point? If you go on, contest this Reinhardt, kill this Reinhardt, guess what Soldier 76 has to do? He has to come down to contest the point, or he has to run away. It's a non-factor, especially because, well, you had a Reinhardt who was alive, but you still got a D.Va who can protect you. And if you're fighting just deep inside the point, and you're fighting like on the back third of it, the people on the high ground can't even see you. So sure, Soldier 76 taking the high ground and taking control of the high ground is a problem, but taking control of the point is more important. Because after that, then you can deal with the Soldier 76 in your own time. They have to contest you, they have to do stuff against you. Like, this fight could have been done with a Diva and a Lucio instead of just you and Junkrat. And imagine how much quicker that would have gone. And sure, Soldier could stand up here, but as long as you're standing further back, like, there's tons of cover at this point. Good job.
Nice.
Reset to high ground. Good lad, good lad, good lad. Now your priority will be to call incoming. Like that guy just did. Honestly, that's a call worth making. Calling out that there is a soldier over here. Kinda sucks that we fell down here. Also, just one small tip as Soldier 76. If they are fighting like this, so first and foremost, he's going to come out and he's going to do this. He's going to go left and right, try and shoot at you. He's got a wall behind him, you don't. That means you have a huge advantage. You could just slam a rocket, like literally, if you put the rocket on top of him. You're going to do a good 70 damage, probably. You won't deal a full of 120, it's very unlikely, but you'll deal a good 70 damage. Okay, there's a free Reinhardt. Good job to the Diva. You can go back and fight in the Soldier 76, and we can take all the time in the world doing this. There's no rush doing this. Just stick with your Lucio, stick with your healers, clear off targets as they come in. That's a very nice pulse bomb by their Tracer. Gets a little bit lucky with that. Should be contesting the point. Good. Good, the Diva is doing it. Set up, just get rid of the Tracer. You get rid of the Tracer, everything else follows.
Wait, fuck! That hasn't been like me. Okay.
You kept it, at least. Yeah, that was a spotty ult. If you want to ult at this point, you actually have the option available to you, but you cannot do it standing here. You would have to run here to the back of the point, away from all of their team, then do it, and then you would have a good opportunity to do the ultimate. Where you are now is just way too exposed to everything.
Wait, fuck! That hasn't been like me. Okay.
Luckily, it's still being contested. Sound barrier being used is a bit bad, but hey. Wrong button. Be very careful about Fat Finger in queue. The only excuse I accept for Fat Finger in queue is when you've taken your hands off the keyboard while respawning, then you go and put them back and you accidentally put your hand like one button press left. They have a Pharah now. Hey, that's good for us. Pharah Reaper, not the most scary DPS combo in the world, and honestly something we're quite good at. Triple DPS is a little bit scarier. Good boot by the Lucio. We should have been able to do more damage than that to him. He can't move. Okay, they have quad DPS actually. They have quad DPS, that's a little bit scary. It's still quite alright for Soldier. This is an interesting team lineup you're going up against. Priority number 1. Get an angle. That Tracer is... Oh god, the mercy. Full mercy.
Far top right.
Good call. Good job focusing on her as well. She's way out of position. Okay, good job. Start advancing in. We want to stay at medium distance and we want to stay in with our team.
Oh, fuck.
It's more of our Reinhardt's fault there. Let them use these resources and you can come back next fight. I don't like that Diva Bomb the slightest. Mercy did not res. This Mercy, says Funky Frog, playing the Junkrat. She's been pulse bombed twice. It's not really her fault, to be honest. We're getting way too friendly. Way too close. Way too close here. Why not just stay on the high ground? Why are we going to mid ground here? We're way stronger on the high ground. Reaper cannot fight us if we're standing up here. Reinhardt has to really change his positioning to deal with us when we're up here. Even Pharah is more vulnerable because we're closer to her when we're up there. Good job killing her, but still. We're getting surrounded by the DPS. This is greedy. We're quite lucky that this is working. More of a failure on their part. Our team should now be able to win on the point. Good job.
Thanks, Mercy.
Why was this greedy? So during this point where you are activating Tactical Visor, you go, Tactical Visor. Rah. Want to kill everyone. My name's Soldier 76. I'm a real American. And all that. During that period of time, you have a vulnerability period. You have like a second vulnerability where you are doing no damage. They have a Tracer, Reaper, and Soldier 76. They can kill you in a second. And even if they don't, they can get you low enough where you can die during this process. Say that we luck out and that the Mercy gets up to us, but honestly, I would say that the play here is rather than drop down, Instead, just stay here. We could push out this way, get up here, and then start wreaking hell. That'll free up our front line to come in a little bit more. We probably still get the fire in the air, and then we can decide, okay, if Soldier comes round up here, and Tracer comes round up here, we can push in this way, and just take over the high ground up here where there's cover. We can move around the corner, activate Visor, come back out, fight any threats over here. We can drop down onto the point, fight any threats onto the point. We have way more options. When we drop down here, we are sacrificing our options. Our options are either come down here towards their team, or come up here where their DPS are now going to meet us. So we're sort of surrendering all these options, while if we stay up here, then we have options to drop down, we have options to go this way, we have options to pull back, we have all these options. It's also easier for Mercy to get to us as well. So I don't like that drop down. Just asked if you saw a clip of someone asking me to swap off Roadhog in gold. Next patch you can swap off Roadhog all you like. Next patch, Roadhog is actually a lot more situational. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. He's no longer the soloing machine that he is now. Mercy did a good job. Oh, there's a free Lucio. Oh, there's a free Lucio. Oh, we do like our free supports. Feels good, man. Honestly, with this team lineup, you would be okay staying on Soldier. Your Junkrat should probably ideally swap to
Reaper left high ground.
McCree. Just because McCree will help you deal with the close range threats of the Reaper or the Tracer, just make it very hard for them to push in. And they now have a Hanzo. Make it very difficult for the McCree, for the Reaper and Tracer to close distance, will also help you hit scan the fire, will also help you medium range get Soldier 76, will help protect your supports, and will help isolate the Reinhardt, for example, as well. What the Junkrat is doing is just kind of spamming damage out.
Nice.
That was pretty fucking beautiful, not gonna lie. Bit of a shame we didn't get the Tracer, but hey, we can get it now. Hello, Hanzo. Stay behind the Reinhardt, shoot him. You have all the time in the world.
Behind, right?
Interesting res. A little bit unnecessary, considering there's still 10% left in it. Should really have rocketed him. If he tries to do this, you're right meleeing, turn, and then just ping your rockets like on this thing. But you know where he's going. The second he sprints past you like that, you know he's trying to run away. So if you just turn and fire the rockets into his escape path, there's no way he survives it. Hello, Reaper. Okay, they're staggered. They're not even going to get onto the point, probably. The greedy rocket into the air. Again, just shoot here. We're not looking to kill the Soldier 76 necessarily, the rockets. We're just looking to add damage to him, because this hero is adding damage to him. We can add damage to him. Reinhardt can add damage to him. If we're all adding damage to him, by our powers combined, we are Captain Planet. By our powers combined, this fucker will die.
Nice one.
I noticed that Mercy got stuck again. The Tracer's pretty fucking good at that, I'm not gonna lie. Say the nerf is okay on Roadhog. Say it, I dare you a double day. From my experience